Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well, and in today's video I've been thinking about talking about how to organize your second brain in Cortex, because we've all been struggling with organizing our notes and finding the best system to do so. You know this feeling, you have different ideas and information spread across different apps, and when you need something specific it seems impossible to find. And I was in this exact position a while back. I would take notes on books, capture random ideas during the day, save articles I found interesting. But when I actually needed to use this information for a project, I would spend way too much time just trying to find everything. And what I've noticed is that most of us end up in one of two situations. Either we create this complex for the system that we never actually stick with, or we just let everything pile up without any organization at all. And the good news is that there is a middle path that combines structure with flexibility, and it's about blending two complementary systems, which is the para method and the Zettelkasten method, to create something that actually works for real people. So that's why in this video I will walk you through how I set this up in Cortex, and the principles applies no matter what tool you're using, whether that's Notion, Obsidian, or even your file system. But you won't be able to combine both systems into one seamless interface if you're not using Cortex. So that's why I will show you this in Cortex. So we are first going to see why traditional folder organization fails, top-down organization, the para method, bottom-up organization, the Zettelkasten method, how to combine both systems, how to set up your own system, and we'll conclude on that. So let's begin. So let's start by understanding why the folder system we've all been taught don't work for knowledge work. And traditional folders are too rigid for evolving IDs, they force single categorization when IDs belong in multiple places, they hide content from view and out of sight equals out of mind, and they create artificial hierarchies that don't match how our brains work. And you have to understand that knowledge work isn't linear, it's networked and emergent. That's why we need a system that's both structured for productivity and flexible for creativity. And the first system we're going to see is the para method. So the para method is based on what is called top-down organization. And you have to think of top-down organization like designing a building before construction. And the para method developed by Thiago Forte is the clearest system available for that. Basically, top-down organization is how you already are used to use folders in your life. It's basically having these different folders like you can see here. I will open that. As you can see, top-down organization is having folders and subfolders under them. That's the classic way you've been taught and you've been used to use folders in your life. That's top-down organization. And the best method for top-down organization is the para method. So the para method stands for projects, areas, resources, and archives. So projects are active initiatives with deadlines. So for example, it's blog post you're writing, planning a product launch, client work, stuff like that. Then we have areas, which are your ongoing responsibilities without deadlines. That could be health, finances, business development, strategy, stuff like that. Then we have resources, which are reference materials organized by topic, for example, writing tips, marketing strategies, swipe files. And then we have archives, which is completed or inactive items. So it will be all of your finished project, old content, and past client work. Para strength is in clarity. Every piece of information has a home, and it's especially powerful for managing active work and ensuring nothing falls through the cracks. So when you are working on projects, creating a course, creating a newsletter and stuff like that, the para method is the best way to organize these projects. But it is not the best for knowledge management and to take notes. That's why we have the bottom-up organization with the Zettelkasten method. You have to think of bottom-up organization like growing a garden. The structure emerges organically, and the Zettelkasten method is the gold standard when it comes to bottom-up organization. In this approach, what you will be doing is that you will focus on capturing IDs first, then connect related nodes rather than categorizing them, let the categories and connections emerge naturally, and use links instead of folders. As I said, for that we're going to use the Zettelkasten method, and it has 4 types of nodes. We have the fleeting nodes, which are quick captures of IDs, literature nodes, which are summaries of what you read and learn, permanent nodes, which are your own processed IDs written with your own word and that respects the atomicity principle, which means that each permanent node only has one big ID inside. And then you have map of contents, which are basically nodes that serves as organizing topics. This approach is powerful for developing new ideas, making unexpected connections, and building a long-term knowledge base. If you want to learn more about the Zettelkasten method, I really advise you to watch my YouTube video on the subject, which is called the note-taking system that can turn anyone into a genius. I go way into more details about the Zettelkasten method and how to implement it. So if you want to learn more about that, click on the video. So let's get back to organizing your second brain. Now we're going to see how we can combine both systems, because this approach aren't competitors, they are complementary tools. And here's how they work together. Basically, we use Para for organizing actionable and time-sensitive contents. That's the different projects we've just talked about. And then you will use the Zettelkasten method to develop ideas and building knowledge, and you will connect them through tags and links. I'm going to walk you through a real example. Let's say I want to create a guide about entering flow state. So it will first start as a project in Para. So I will open my folders here. I will open this. I will swipe. I'm going to close all of that. And here, as you can see, I have the projects. And so here in projects, I will just click here and I will go, for example, in my newsletters and I will create a new document. Then in this document, I will call it guide for flow state. I think that was the subject. So it starts as a project in Para, and then I can start to pull content from my notes in the Zettelkasten method. So I can just Command K and start to click flow state. And here I have different notes that I've created about the flow state. So I can open them in pane. If I click on Command plus and I click, it will open the notes in different pane. And so I can start to find permanent nodes that I've created on different topics. And as you can see, the nodes have other nodes connected inside them. So I can open other nodes and have these different nodes that open to help me write. So here for my guide for flow state, I will maybe start to write the outline, and I will maybe start with talking about the definition of flow state, what it is, then maybe talk about the concept of psychic entropy, and then here I have attention. And as you can see, I can start to connect the different nodes that I've created using the Zettelkasten method, which are all linked here. So as you can see, this is my folder with the Zettelkasten method, and there is no subfolder, there is only nodes. And as you can see, I can scroll for a long time because I have like 400 nodes under this folder. And as I said, with the bottom-up organization, the goal is to have these structures to emerge by itself. And when you have multiple nodes that are talking about the same concept, you can create a map of content about this topic. So for example, the learning map of contents, if I open it here, you will see that I have a lot of connections, and all of these connections are basically notes about learning. And the idea is to use those map of contents to reference all of our notes on a particular subject. But this way, you create the map of content after you already have made several notes about a specific topics, and then you are like, okay, I have so many notes on learning, I'm feeling the need to have something to reference them, so I'm going to create a map of content. That's not the other way around, because with a top-up organization, you will be first creating your learning map of learning folder and then creating under it. But that's not natural, that's not how creativity emerge naturally, and that's not how things happens when you follow your curiosity and things start to, and you create notes following the subjects that interest you. So let's get back for a guide for flow state. So I'm going to close some of this pane. And yeah, so the idea was just to show you that basically you can create in your Para folders that are here, your guide, and then connect with the different IDs and different notes you've created with the Zettelkasten method here. So as you can see here, I have my Para folders. I have here the Mind Galaxy folder, which is my Zettelkasten method folder. And because now I can start to write about this topic, I can open my notes as I'm writing to reference them with the different pane system. And I will discover new insights as I work, and I can add them to my knowledge base. If I find maybe new insights that I haven't thought before, I can create a new note in my Mind Galaxy folder. This integration creates a virtuous cycle, because your project become more thoughtful because they draw from your knowledge base, they draw from your Mind Galaxy, and your knowledge base becomes richer with each project you complete. And that's why I love Kortex, and that's why I've switched from Obsidian to Kortex, because in Obsidian I only had my notes inside, I didn't had projects and my own writing inside. And with Kortex, it's with this folder system, it makes it perfect to have both top-down organization and bottom-up organization in the same workspace, so you can benefit from both and have one seamless workflow. And now with AI that is integrated inside Kortex, it's even better, because you can have your own AI chat and chat with your documents inside Kortex directly without having to switch between tabs. And that really was the thing that I didn't like before when using Obsidian, is that I always had a Google Doc or a Notion document open and my Obsidian open in another tab, and I always had to switch between both of these tabs, and for me it breaks the creative workflow. And when you have everything in the same place, it makes everything seamless and very fluid and natural. So let's walk through setting up this hybrid system. First, you need to create your main para folder. So you have projects, area, resources, and archives. So as you can see, they are here. I have the projects. Under my projects, I've created different subfolders. I have products, newsletters, YouTube, tweets, book, and clients. Here I have the areas. I don't really use area at the moment, but if I have any resources and stuff I want to put under the area part, for example, maybe positioning documents when I'm going to work better on my branding and stuff, I will create new document under this area here. For example, if I want to journal inside Kortex, I can also create new entry here. And then we have the resources section. So for resources, what I'm doing is that I have my AI prompts, SOPs, templates, and tools. And for tools, it's like different random stuff like copywriting structure, swipe file, some biohacking stack, stuff like that. And then I have a separate Mind Galaxy folder for Zettelkasten. So here, as you can see, that was the folder I talked about. That's the folder where I have all of my notes where I use the Zettelkasten method. And as you can see, I have a lot. I have everything there. I have the map of contents that are here and the different notes. So everything is there. There are no particular organization. As I said, we are in a bottom-up mindset here. Of course, I advise you to start simple and don't overcomplicate. At first, it may seem overwhelming when you are seeing my workspace like this with all of these notes and stuff. I understand. I've been using this method for the past 3 years, so of course, I started to accumulate a lot of stuff. But when you start, just start simple. Create your main folders following the para method, and one folder for your notes, and put all of your notes inside your note folder, and then everything else that is active work, you put it in the respecting para folders. I also advise you to use tags and links to create connections. So for tags, it's very simple. You just put hashtag, and here, as you can see, I have a lot of different tags. The goal of tags is for you to be able to easily retrieve what you want to see in your system. So for example, if I do Command K and I put newsletter, I will find all of my newsletter here. That's also another way to find back your content inside your Kortex workspace, which is very useful. You can use the different projects here, but you can also use the tags. So for example, I can do that, but I can also maybe filter by topic. And here I have everything about productivity. So I can find content about productivity tools, and I can also find quotes and notes that I've created that are about this tag. So that's the power of having folders and tags and different connections everywhere, because you can find, you have different way to find your files inside your workspace, and that's how it will spark more creativity and insights for you. And for the links, very simple. It's when you use the double brackets, you can link different documents, and then when you link a document, basically you will find it here. If you expand the properties, you will see the connections here, and that's how you can see different connections between documents, and then you can open the different connection inside panes, and that's how you can basically navigate your second brain easily. So if you want some quick wins to get started, move one of your current projects into your parastructure, start capturing daily notes in your Mind Galaxy. As I said, if you want to learn more about the Zettelkasten method and how to apply it, I really advise you to see the YouTube video I've made on the subject where I describe the method in details, and connect related notes as you notice patterns. The common mistakes to avoid are over-engineering your system at first, trying to connect everything too much, and abandoning one system for the other, and like not trying to integrate them, especially if you're using Kortex. That's unfortunate, because I think for me one of the main value proposition and one of the main benefits of using Kortex is to be able to integrate both systems into one interface. To conclude, I will say that the journey to organize your second brain isn't about finding the perfect system, but the right balance for you. Remember, your organizational system should serve you, not the other way around. What I'm showing you in this video is just a way for you to get started and to have maybe some insight about how you can organize things. Of course, if there are other frameworks or things that work better for you and your natural wiring as a human being, then just use that instead. What matters is having something that works for you and that makes your workflow better. Remember to start small and build gradually, and because the best system is the one you will actually use. So thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, you can hit the like button and subscribe for more content on personal knowledge management and my systems in Kortex. Let me know in the comments which organizational system you've been using and if you will try this hybrid approach. If you want to learn more about this and implement it, you can also read the written guide I've made on the subject. I will put the link in the description below. And also, if you found this helpful and you want to implement the whole system right away, I've created the perfect resource for you, because I've basically combined in what I called Noah's Ark Bank all of my Kortex templates, my organizational frameworks, and guides in one place. You can think of it as your second brain starter kit, and everything you need to get up and running today is inside. So you can grab it for free using the link in the description, and let me know what you think after you had the chance to explore it. So that was it for today's video. I hope you find some value. I will see you in the next one, and I wish you an amazing week. Bye.